Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Matthew and today I'm finally reviewing it. The S.H. MonsterArts King Ghidorah 1991 original version. This is not a bootleg. This is not the special color version. This is indeed the original version. I honestly cannot believe I'm actually able to hold this thing in person and actually be the one to say that I own it. Because for the longest time, I've always wanted a Ghidorah figure that was in scale with my other ones. However, the only thing I had was this. I don't want to sound ungrateful for the things I've gotten, but my mere comparison, it was this small little Ghidorah that was part of a bootleg set, and it was cool. But then I upgraded to a Bandai King Ghidorah that was about 6 inches, but it still wasn't in scale with the other characters that I had over the years. And then I got the Mezco Showa Ghidorah, which was a bit smaller than that of the Bandai Ghidorah, but it had the gravity beams and it was a bit more expressive. And for the longest time, that was the one I had up until today, where I managed. Well, actually, a few days ago, where I managed to find a good deal for this thing, along with an Ultima and a NECA Godzilla 2014. So that's what we're going to be reviewing today. I honestly cannot believe I'm about to do this, so let's go ahead and get right into the review. Starting off with the molds of the heads, I honestly think that they are in fact the same mold. The horns do look a bit curved more in this one, but that just could be because of the way it was packaged when the seller of mine first got it. Moving the head slightly. There we go. Yeah, they're essentially all the same, but to kind of summarize, they have a very serpentine looking eye that has the standard slitted eye with a almost a dark mustard honeydill type color of an iris, and then has the signature gold that you find on the body with all these different bumps and crevices that actually looks like actual gold. And then you have the smaller ridges on the horns, and then you kind of get to the the nostrils and the nose, which I think are done pretty well. I think overall, especially the shining it gives off with this particular release, it's certainly really well done. And even opening up the mouth, let's actually take the mouth and open it up here. We have such great detailing in here. It almost looks like a miniature version of the puppet they used in the movie. We have individually sculpted teeth, which are single road, so that it's accurate to the film. We have the canines, fangs, of course, and then we have the signature red tongue, which is a much more basic plastic. Honestly, it kind of looks like the plastic they use on the Baby Bell cheese things. Um, that's kind of what it looks like to me. But I mean, it's fine and dandy. It's a tongue, so it's not necessarily the biggest break it or leave it. Kind of take it or leave it kind of deal. But it is really well done on the gums and the top of the mouth and the just pretty much the red detailing is just done so well. And I also like the tiny bits of black highlights within the teeth. You can kind of see it on the base of them a little bit. It's a little hard to tell, but the lips have a bit of a darker wash compared to the rest of the body, which I think is a really well done touch. But you can kind of see it on the top row, especially that just looks phenomenal. Moving on down to the necks of Ghidorah, you can definitely see where it's pretty much the same thing across all three of the heads. So pretty much speaking, the spikes of the back of the heads are really done nicely. I don't really have a whole lot of scuffs. There's a mild scuff on this spike. You can't really see it on camera. Just right here. Can't really show. Kind of see it right at the tip of my finger. There's a mild scuff there, but I mean, it's alright. We got nice ridges here going on the top, and it goes all the way to where the head meets the neck. Sorry, the head. Yeah, where the head plugs into the neck, and it goes all the way down until it hits the chest. So we got a nice bit of kind of ridges and kind of down. Pretty much going all the way down. I think I would have liked to see a bit more yellow variety. Maybe if this was a darker yellow, or maybe even a bit of a lighter yellow. But again, it's accurate to the film because Ghidorah wasn't really the most colorful in said movie. really the only color he really did have was the gold, and it wasn't until Mecha Ghidorah or Mecha King Ghidorah, sorry, Mecha Ghidorah is its own character. Mecha King Ghidorah was like much more colorful in that sense. Moving on down to the chest, we actually get a bit more of that kind of signature scaly detail that's shaped like diamonds, and then they kind of like overlap each other. And we can definitely see like the where it plugs into the neck, and it turns out that these two, they're not breasts. They're actually just two mini rib cages. So Ghidorah apparently has two mini rib cages. Yikes, that is scary to think about. But like King Ghidorah's anatomy aside, we can definitely see like a lot of the more like detailing going down to where the belly button would be. But Ghidorah doesn't really have one, and we kind of get some more of that with the legs going down here. Again, not like much any color variety. It's all one color, but that one color really pops with how reflective it is, and I definitely appreciate it a lot because of how much like detail and such went into this thing. Because if you just take your finger and glide over it, it feels like one of those pillows that you can like brush, or like the material you can brush and then it'll change color, brush again and it'll change another color. You probably get what I'm talking about. But like they're on pillows, I think some of them are clothing. You get what I'm talking about. Next, we got the feet, and they definitely got that four kind of toes nailed down correctly, and I definitely do like what they did here. Again, probably would have liked some maybe painted nails, like again, maybe a lighter color, because I do like color variety, but again, hey, it's not the worst thing in the world. Personally, I am a fan of how it's sculpted, and it feels really rough to the touch, and that's honestly the way it should be. Let's move on to the wings. And I have to say, the wings are done really well on this guy. I honestly was speculating that this thing would have come with like some sort of chipped like horn, but no, over the years, this thing survived. I say that, and then tomorrow I'm gonna drop this thing like an idiot, and I'm gonna be the first one to break this thing. But of course, we've got all the amazing gold like coloring and just the absolute beautiful folds in the skin, and it just the transition from like the gold skin to like the membranes in between the wings, and it just looks so great. And I'm really impressed with how like realistic in the sense that this looks like an actual puppet, like an actual scale replica, not to scale, but a smaller scale replica of the puppet they used in the film to fight Godzilla in the with he was in the suit, of course. But this thing just looks so good. Maybe they could like maybe make another figure where they have like the battle damage the wings where Godzilla blasts him away. And lastly, we're going to take a look at the tails, which again have quite a bit of detail to them. Detail. Yeah, I know I'm not the first one to make that joke. But going up, like these things are longer tails than I thought they would be initially. Because you got all that signature detail where they come from one base and then spin off into like two different tails, which I do appreciate, and how like long and tall they are, and like looking at the little end spikes, like the little clubs, I suppose they could be. I'm trying not to think about the MonsterVerse one where they like shake it. You know, the Heisei Ghidorah never did that like a snake, but they definitely look the part. And I honestly have to say that these things, if Ghidorah actually bothered to use these as weapons, they could have done some serious damage. But enough about the film. These spikes are actually pretty pointy. In fact, all the spiky parts on this thing are in fact actually kind of spiky. So just be worrisome. On my wing back here, there is a bit of like gunk. I'm not sure what it is. It's probably dust. Because let's be real here, my 2014 came with dust. So, but back to the tails. They're long, they're really prehensile, and I like the way they look. I wouldn't really ask for anything more, because again, they did what they did with the source material, and it looks great. So overall, for sculpting paint, I have to give it to Ghidorah. He's really, really solid. Again, I probably would have liked some more color variation, but given the movie design and how it was in the film, it's very movie accurate, so I had to give it at least that. Maybe if, like, I think the only thing I probably would have added maybe are a bit of more highlights on the face, for example, but aside from that, it's perfect the way it is. Again, I'm probably just looking too much for color variety because Ghidorah is just primarily one color. But again, looks the part, and I have to give it to Ghidorah. He's rock solid.